So let's go to the zone real quick.
Okay.
I want to shout out.
Which the zone fight? There was
I know.
15 of them. Yeah, there was.
I definitely. Well, I'll tell y'all what I saw. Shout out to my man Charles Conwell.
Yeah.
Gets the big dub over Vergara. Saturday night, 6-round knockout, I believe. Beautiful left hook that was thrown. Quite a few clean left hooks thrown throughout the night that were landed. He gets hit a little bit, takes it to land it.
Yes.
The thing about this, though, that's been his style forever.
Yeah.
So why I'm saying that is because this isn't new to his body. Getting hit like this isn't new to his body. His actual muscle memory is being touched. So other guys that you might actually look and say, man, like, is that gonna wear him down? This dude is like a MACK truck where he's like, it's not gonna wear him down. He stays very, very durable through the course of a fight. And as we can see, he got the knockdown in the 6th round.
Yeah, I mean, to that point about him being a MACK truck, he keeps himself in ridiculously good shape.
I did catch that fight. Actually, I caught Rocha fight
Curio.
too. As well. Yeah, that was a
get
war.
We'll get to him.
Yeah, man, Charles Conwell, he's definitely one of my favorite fighters at 154, and I see why he's heavily avoided.
Yeah.
He's patient, he's accurate, and when he smells blood, he don't miss.
Yeah.
Shout out to Charles Conwell, man. It was a great performance.
I think he's got a great fan-pleasing style, but it's not like sometimes when you say that about guys like Jaime Munguia, who I'm sure we'll get to later, that means they get hit a little too much. And he definitely gets touched because to bring some, you got to take some with his kind of style. Yeah. But I thought, and even though Vergara was touching him in this fight, I thought he showed more than the high guard in this fight. I think that upper body was moving. And I know Sean brought up the left hooks. He was targeting the right hand to the body and to the head beautifully against that southpaw. And I just think this is a loaded division. And we said this after Charles' last fight. I mean, he's a threat to anybody in this division. And I think him and Virgil's got a really tough fight with Madrimov coming up. That's definitely far from a walkover, but I do think Virgil will win that fight. And Charles is in the top 5 for Virgil's WBC interim title. I think that fight is carnage. I mean,
you saying you want to see the winner?
Charles probably has to get through a Boachuk, someone like that. He's got to do a little work on his end.
I think he will.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a great fight too, though.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a banger too.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he do get touched sometimes. Bocachu, he comes, he's gonna touch Charles, but I think Charles will come out of that fight. I can't wait to see a fight like him and Virgil.
That's a great fight. They're both with Golden Boy. Again, realistically, Charles might have to get a significant win to make it worth Virgil's time, because right now Charles is in the position. You're in this position, high risk. Not a big reward yet. So you got to do something. You got to fight another one of those high-risk, low-reward guys like Boachuk or maybe Bakram Murtazalia, but he's ranked with WBC, WBO. Anyway, him and Virgil, great style matchup.
Great fight.
Great style matchup. Sean?
I think they have the same style, too. He and Virgil fight with a lot of power.
Speed. And they both got hand speed.
His jab has power on it. You know what I mean? He does take something off of the jab to land it, but he's really not throwing a lot of jabs. Unless he's trying to actually land the jab. But he fights with a lot of power. Of course, as I'm watching the fight, I'm thinking about what would a fight like Virgil and Charles look like, and it would 100% be this. Neither of them are going to come to the ring and make the subtle of adjustment of taking a step back or taking a step around to the side. I believe that's something that Charles has in the bag.
I think if either one's going to do it, it's Charles. But then again, Virgil can move around. They both can do it a little bit.
Yeah. Like Virgil he'll slide around.
He's got a good jab.
Yeah, he'll slide around. I think we
get touched.
Yeah,
when he get touched, it turns on.
Yeah,
just like when he fought Boachuk and Boachuk dropped him. When he get touched, it's all right, let's go. So as soon as Charles touch him, like you said, he might try to box. After that, it's back to.
That's the kind of fight that Charles needs in order for him to get to the next level. In order for him to truly be taken serious at 154. For a fighter like Charles Conwell, who's been overlooked. He's 2016 Olympian. And I believe firmly in this because I had to deal with this. When I fought, when I was a part of the 2008 Olympic team, I turned pro a little later than everybody else. So everybody else was 5-6 fights ahead of me, give or take even more than that. Different positions. I remember Daniel Jacobs, who I fought a bunch of times in the amateur. He had a title shot like it seemed like overnight, and someone told me, "Don't try to catch up. Don't try to. You're not behind. You're where you're supposed to be. So don't try to catch up." And that's what I would encourage Charles to do is, hey, continue to stay on this track of getting into a prime position. Don't put yourself in the position with just anybody because it's you're finally getting an opportunity.
Well, he said he turned down the Ennis fight for that reason. Basically.
Because he don't feel like he's got enough, right?
I think me reading between lines sound like he didn't get the best offer. Like probably money-wise, probably a little bit of a low ball offer. But just to your point that you were making about him, I think that's a big reason why he turned down that fight. Is it has to make some sense. He's not in a rush, like you said, you know. And he even said he'd love to fight Ennis when it makes sense. And when guys say that, sometimes as a media guy, you raise your eyebrow, and this is bullshit. I believe him. Not just because I like him or his style. I think he's genuine when he says it just didn't make sense. I'll take his word for it.
Enough money.
That's what it sounded like to me. Yeah.
It's a lot going on. Even with Boots, you can look at some fights and say he may not be ready for them simply because of his inactivity. So for me, when it comes to Charles Conwell, I just look at the fact that you've been inactive. When you have been active, you've been on the lower side of the card, which means there hasn't been enough fans in the room for you to really feel the energy of a championship fight night. The first time you feel the energy of a championship fight night as a competitor should not be on championship night. You got to scratch the surface of a co-main event.
Benavidez Morel.
Yeah, you got
for Morel.
Oh yeah, for Morel.
Coming up. Yeah. That's an issue for him heading into that fight.
100%. Yep. I agree 100%. So, really just wanted to shout out Charles, and of course he did a great job. I think it's a big ask for me to want to see more out of him in terms of style and versatility. Kind of feel like you get what you get with Charles, but I believe in it. I believe in him. I'm 100% biased, but beyond being biased, I believe in him because I feel like he's one of those few fighters out there that even though it's taken some time, he hasn't taken any punishment and he hasn't been in harm's way. And so once that time comes, I think he'll be like, everything will be in place for him. So
yeah.
But some of those other things, I like to see him step around. I like to see this. You know what I mean? I don't get this, I don't get what they call it, the clock, the
windshield wiper.
Yeah, windshield wiper. You know what I mean? Like, give me some rolling. Give me some pullback. You know what I mean? Give me some. Give me some.
I thought he showed wrinkles of that in this fight, but you want more out of it. I want more of it. Got it.
Because I think that it needs to be consistent, especially when you are a target that doesn't move a lot. Now the upper body has to move. That head has to move.
For the Virgils, for the Murtazalias.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because once you become one tone, it's only a matter of time. So.
Right.
But that's my dude. So I'm excited for him.
They're both from Cleveland, so.
Okay.